Today I want to talk about specifically work-life balance. I'm still on that sort of New Year's theme. What is it that matters to you in your life? What is it that you made your New Year's resolutions about? What is it to you that you care about? For most of us as entrepreneurs, we care a lot about our business. We care a lot about the amount of time that we spend in our business, but I think as much as anything, we care a lot about what we're making in our business. How are we making the world a better place? How are we creating a product? How are we making money? How are we doing it better than our boss did before we quit all those years ago? What is it that has us be excited every day, day in, day out, for being a small business owner? It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not. Ask any one of us, right? Come on, straight talk, right? Let's ask any one of us. Is it easy being an entrepreneur? Do you find it to be, the same as a walk in the park, or maybe smelling the flowers? Some days, yes. Sometimes, moments of sheer joy. Other times, get me the frick out of here, right? So what is it that keeps us committed over and over and over again to the work that we do? There's something in there. How do we balance that with our personal lives? So what does work-life balance mean? In general, it means having a nice distinction or having a fulfilling amount of work and a fulfilling amount of personal time. Time with your family, time with your children, maybe time taking a walk on the beach, time working out. Whatever it is that you do for yourself or that you love to do on your personal time. Do you feel like that you have a good work-life balance? Do you? Does it work for you? And one of the things about work-life balance is what is it to you is equally as important as what is the generic definition of work-life balance. What does work-life balance to you mean? What are your passions about? Are your passions about, like I said, working out? Do you get enough time to work out? Do you get enough time at work? And do you get enough time to work out? What are you sacrificing to get that time? Either direction. Are you sacrificing things at work to get your workout time? Or are you sacrificing your workout time to spend more time at work? What's your passion? What's the thing that you like to do outside of work? Are you sacrificing time with your family in order to be at work? Or is your work being sacrificed because of the time with the family? That balance is different for every single entrepreneur. What they're sacrificing, what they feel like is in balance and out of balance, is individualized to your priorities and what it means to you. Now let me tell you my personal concept, my personal work-life balance as a sample to you. I have a family, which many of you know, and I like to spend time with my family. I like to be available to my daughter and my husband, and I like to do my work. I love my job. I love being a consultant. Whether I'm consulting about small business or whether I'm consulting about real estate, I love being a consultant. Now, how I know I'm in balance is when I finish my work day and I feel satisfied to go home to my family. And how I know I've had enough family time is when I'm ready to start my work day and I feel ready to take it on and I don't feel angry or frustrated, I guess, that this is what I need to be doing. There's a sense on the weekend of satisfaction. Satisfaction with my work life, satisfaction with my personal life. I know I'm out of balance when I don't have that satisfaction. That's when I know I've sacrificed something too much on one side or the other. And it could be either way, because I'm a mom as well as a worker. I'm a mom as well as an entrepreneur. I have volunteer commitments on my plate. I've got a husband. I've got a daughter I got to cart around. Sometimes it's just too much. and I take too much away from my work. The other way happens just as much. Sometimes I've got a big project going on at work, and like this week, specifically this week, I'm going to be gone. Out of 7 nights this week, I'm gone 5 of those nights. That's a lot of time away from my family for me. So that's what work-life balance can be. But it's based upon my priorities. Now, what I want to talk about for a minute is, what is it that can create the feeling of being out of balance? And then we can talk about what it means to be in balance. I gave a sample to you of how I know I'm in balance because I feel satisfied. Oh, that's nice. But how do I feel when I'm not in balance? Let's talk about that. Basically, to me, it's all forms of stress. So let's talk about it. What do you experience? Which one of these is you? Is it the fact that your business is pushing you because you earn money from that business? Is that what pushes you, makes you feel stressed? Is that what causes you to spend too many hours at the office? Or is that what causes you to feel that you have to do this? Stay up late at night, get it done, hit that deadline, make that client happy? Is it because this business brings in money to your family and money to you that you live on? If it's related to money, it's probably a level of instinct that is moving you. Not a level of will, but a level of instinct. How I can tell the difference between a level of will and instinct is that instinct to me can start feeling very narrow. When I have something instinctual pushing me, it's like the only choice I've got is to stay up late. The only choice I've got is to, not pick up my daughter at school. The only choice I've got is to, what's yours? What's yours? The only choice I've got is to blank. That, to me, starts to speak of an instinctual level of attachment to your business or an instinctual level of stress. Okay? Another form could be relational. That you feel like the relationships you have with your customers, you can't let them down. That you need to make your customers satisfied. That you need for them to feel proud or happy or fulfilled by your product, by your business, by your service. It's a relational thing. It's still pushing on you. He's pushing on you to offer a maximized relationship. Maybe more than what the client's really asking for. Is that you? Are you one of those people where really your business for you is about offering the best or highest service to your clients so they don't feel taken, or the best and highest service so that you know they're completely satisfied? Now, I'm going to suggest to you that relational piece may actually be related to an instinctual piece inside of you as well. Because you could say, and I am a believer of this, that we were or we are originally and also animal-based. If you, as animals, most animals live in herds. If you haven't noticed, we live in herds. We live in family units. If you don't have your family unit around you to protect you, your chances of survival go down greatly. Have you noticed that? So I would suggest that there's a possibility that your sense of relationship driving you may still be an instinctual basis. It may still have that narrow feeling that you have to stay up, you have to do it. It's not at choice. Okay? Here's another possible stressor for you. A sense of ambition. I want to be the best. I want to get it done the best. I want to get it the best I can do. I want it to be the best product available in the field. I want to be able to fulfill this niche in a way that nobody else has ever done it. A sense of ambition. I want to be a leader in my community, and I want to be visible. I want people to like me. I want to be, people to like me while I'm a leader. So that might be pure ambition. Money can be ambition. When money is ambition, then often there's not enough money. Like there is no mark where you've earned enough money and you can stop earning. That is, I would suggest, is not money. It's ambition. Ambition can be related to childhood issues, senses of your parents accepting you, senses of you being accepted by your peers, senses of being successful as a younger child. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that everything that you do is an issue or a problem. I'm definitely not trying to tell you that. But I am trying to suggest to you, by these 3 pieces, I'm trying to suggest to you that you sincerely and honestly look. You know me. You sincerely and honestly look inside and say, what drives you? What is it that drives you not for the good of your business? What is it that drives you beyond the good for yourself? What is it that drives you where you're not taking care of yourself? Okay, we all have weeks where we work too hard. We all have weeks where we get too much done. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if your mode is to feel like you're always pushed by your business, or your mode is to feel like you're always being pushed by your family and never enough time on your business, my question to you is there an issue that's driving you to have to do that? Is there something in there that has you be narrow-visioned, that has you be feeling that you have to do it, not that you choose to do it? Is there something driving you? That's what I want you to know. How does that feel? Usually, the feelings is feelings of being stressed, feelings of being anxious, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like you're pushed all the time, always pushed to get something done. I'll give you a personal example. My husband wants a hug. And if I can't slow down to give my husband a hug, I'm too pushed. Work-life balance, right? We want to have space in our lives for ourselves and space in our lives for our business, space in our lives for our personal relationships in the sense of satisfaction and connection and intimacy there, and a sense of being related to your business, a sense of success with your business, and a sense of competency in relationship to your business. It's okay. You can have all of them. You can. It does take addressing the anxiety, the thing that is pushing you underneath. What's pushing you underneath? Now, I've talked specifically about business pushes, but there might be the opposite. You might have pushes on the relationship front, as in your personal relationships. Your husband or wife resents the amount of hours you work. You feel like you need to be home with your children, male or female. You feel like you need to be home with your children. You know, husband, wife or husband? No, that's not what I mean. Mother or father, that you feel like you have to be home with your child. It can be either one. That you feel like that you're not giving enough to your family on your personal time. There may be lots of things that you feel like pushes you to spend more time on your family than you know is good for you and your work-life balance. This is a very careful thing I want you to consider, because it can be either side, and they both will feel the same way. Stressful, anxious, overwhelmed, pushed all the time, up late at night to get things done. The to-do list just feels so long, or I'm never going to get it done, or why can't this employee just frickin' get it right, or oh my goodness, another thing on my list, or another thing to achieve today. All of those are signs to you that you're heading right into stress, or you're already running on stress. I challenge you to take a good look at this. How does that work inside of you? First, I talked about work-life balance and what does it mean. What does it mean in general? What does it mean to you? And I gave you a sample of what it means to me. And then I talked about maybe that you don't have a work-life balance. What does it mean when you're out of balance? What does that feel like? It doesn't say what it means. What does it feel like? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel pushed all the time? Are you up at night getting things done? What is it that has you know, or has you feeling like you're out of balance? This last piece specifically is, well, what can you do about it? What can you do about it? Now, I'm going to suggest a couple different things here. Time management is usually the obvious answer to what you can do about it. Time management usually is the thing that people immediately turn to. But I've been doing this long enough that the first thing that I'm going to turn to is, what is your priority list? What is it that is your highest priorities? What is it that is answered for you in your work? And what is it that is answered for you in your family? You have priority lists for each one of those. What is it that you find is the highest priority with your business? Is it customer service? Is it the quality of the product that you offer? Is it being able to make a difference on the face of this planet? Is it that you need to apply your personal time to it? Is it your personal touch? Is it something only you can achieve because you're the one with that specific talent? What is it that really is your priorities about your business? Now, I'm going to suggest there are some basic priorities about being an entrepreneur. You always want to make sure that you're controlling the money. That's a priority in the structural soundness of your business. You always want to make sure that you're connected to your business. That's a priority in the structural soundness of business. But I'm not really talking about that level of priority. I'm really talking about what's your relationship to it. What is your priority inside of you? You have a clear priority list inside of you, whether it's what David Allen calls a 50,000 mile list, which is 50,000 miles up. What is the primary basic purpose of your business? Is to create change on the face of this planet, or to help people one person at a time, or to transform people's thinking, transform people's lives, transform limitations. That's one way of listing your priorities. Or is your priority more on the 30,000 high list? I want to finish this product, and I want to craft this business so that it has this space in the market, in my target market, or this space in the industry. Or is your priorities the dailies of your business? Is your priorities on the daily level of your business? Is it, I want to have a high level of customer service. I want my customers to be satisfied every day. I want to make sure that my products have a good quality to them so that every customer, every time I hand out a product to a customer, I feel complete about that. I want to make some money. I want to make some money to take care of my family and be able to take care of myself. I want to spend, a certain amount of time in the office because I want to make this happen. Priorities in the business might be marketing. Priorities in the business might be accounting. Priorities in the business might be, customer service. You can also use any one of those as triggers for you as what your priorities are. Marketing, accounting, customer service, product, finances, which I think we've talked about. There are 7 areas that I like to focus on, and right now I'm not remembering them. So pick any one of those priority levels. 50,000, which is like world vision. 30,000, which is vision for business. Or runway level, which is what am I getting done on a daily basis? And you can also use the basic structure of business. What is it that my business needs to have done in order to move it forward? But what are your priorities? Got to be your priorities. If it's a business priority and you are clear, it really belongs to the business and not to you personally, I want you to distinguish that out. Because my next suggestion to you is, what do you love about your work and what do you hate about your work? And I want you to make a list. You know me. Make a list of your priorities. Make a list about what do you love about your job and what do you hate about your job. If your job involves dealing with customers and you love it, you write that down. If your job involves dealing with customers and you hate it, write that down. Write down what your job involves, whether you like it or not, whether you consider it your talent or not. Okay? Literally, you can just write it down. If you're wondering how you do this, it can be very simple. You get out a sheet of paper, and for a week, you write down about every hour what you did. Very simply. I talked with this customer. I counted inventory. I ordered new inventory. Okay, that's 1 hour. I had an employee meeting. I followed up with a singular employee about a project I delegated, and I talked with my marketing website designer. And then after you've done that for a week, I want you to write next to each one whether you like it or not. Okay, why am I having you do this? I'm having you do this because it's going to be the basis for your time management system. Now, time management is obviously, and you've heard me say this many times, time management obviously isn't about managing time. It's about managing tasks. It really is. It's about managing tasks with the amount of time you have. That's what it's about. You have your to-do list. You have your filing system. You have your delegation, right? The capacity to delegate projects. All about handling tasks. So, there are a few basic suggestions in time management that can make things easier for you. Always allot 50% more time than you feel that you need. Whether you're driving somewhere or you're having a meeting, always allot 50% more time than you think you need. Make your to-do lists, but make them without deadlines unless there really is like a drop-dead deadline. As in, if I'm not on that plane, the plane's leaving without me. That one goes on your calendar. If you've got a to-do, which is something you'd like to deliver by Friday, unless there's a phone call on Friday that you need to deliver it by, it don't get the Friday date. Don't do that to yourself. Let your priorities shift. You are a human being who will naturally have your priorities shift from one to another. And obviously the one that is everybody's favorite is being willing to delegate. Now, I'm a big believer in being willing to delegate, but I'm also a big believer in using your time management system to make your delegation successful. Delegating by itself, or any of you, I'm sure that you have experienced this personally. When you delegate a project, there's only, without careful control, there's probably a 50% chance that you'll get it back in the shape that you want. How do you get a higher percentage of success? You delegate your projects carefully. You delegate them with a very clear, here's what I want done, here's why it needs to be done, here's how it adds to the business, so they have a sense of the vision. Get a clear, can you do that? And can you do that by this timeline? And then put down in your management list, going back and talking to them 2/3 of the way through to see if they have anything they need from you. What do they need from you? That's the last question you ask when you delegate a project. Is you say, and what do you need from me to support you in this? 2/3 of the way through the timeline of the project. Is there anything you need from me to support you in this? When the top project is due, do a clear communication with that in person, whatever that person is, whether it's a meeting that has been set up or whether it's an email that you send out saying, I'm looking forward to receiving your project today, so that they know that the project that they're working on for you has not slipped through the cracks for you. Plan on having a redirect conversation with that person. Yes, even after the due date. As soon as they've given you the project, plan on having a redirect. There's always going to be a course correction. Or for those of us in real estate, there's always a punch list. Be prepared. Construction projects always cost 10% more and take at least 10% longer than you expect. Delegated projects are exactly the same way. Plan on at least 2 redirects, one at 2/3 and one at the end of the project at least, and have that built into your schedule. If you actually do that, then you'll be capable of delegating more projects, which gives you more time, which gives you less stress, hopefully better success in your business, and a better success of work-life balance. So time management is a very useful tool, and it will help you a lot. But there is so much more that needs to be behind that time management system for you to be really clear that you're doing what you love, not what you hate. And that what you do is being based upon your priorities and not just because you feel like it needs to occur. That you're aware of the stress or the anxiety, the overwhelm, whatever it is that pushes you, may be more than just what the business needs. It may be something personal to you that you might want to work on between you and your best pal over a drink. Or however you work on that. If you work with a therapist, great. You do personal growth, great. You do yoga, great. However you work on whatever it is that's stressful in you that's yours and it has been projected onto the business.